Welcome back to Bookkeeper Academy, Introduction to Conversational Finance, Module 3. Meet Dr. Bookkeeper, my AI finance team. From recording transactions to financial decision making, this is Dr. Kimani Kamau. In Module 2, we explored the idea that sits at the center of conversational finance. The conversation becomes the interface. You don't have to begin with accounting terminology. You begin with your business. You talk, you ask, you understand, and you act. Today, we are going to meet the intelligence on the other side of that conversation. And yes, we have arrived at my favorite part. Meet Dr. Bookkeeper, my AI finance team. Now, why do I call Dr. Bookkeeper my AI finance team instead of simply an AI bookkeeping assistant? Because running a business requires much more than recording transactions. Think about a traditional finance department. As the business grows, different financial professionals perform different functions. Someone records the transactions. Someone analyzes the numbers. Someone monitors the financial operations. And someone helps management think about what happens next. For many small business owners, however, hiring an entire finance department simply isn't realistic. A bookkeeper, a financial analyst, a controller, a CFO, that's quite a payroll before you've even opened the doors Monday morning. But the financial questions still exist. And that's the idea behind my AI finance team. Role number 1, your AI bookkeeper. Let's start with the foundation. The AI bookkeeper helps capture and organize what has already happened in the business. You might say, Dr. Bookkeeper, I received $1,250 from a customer today. Or, I spent $320 on materials for the Wilson project. Or, record $85 for fuel. These are everyday business conversations. Behind those simple statements, however, financial records are being created and organized. That's the first role. Record what happened. But here's the problem. Knowing what happened doesn't necessarily mean you understand what happened. And that's where the second member of the team enters the conversation. Role number 2, your financial analyst. Now you start asking questions. Why was my profit lower this month? Which product makes me the most money? How much did I actually make on that job? Those aren't bookkeeping questions anymore. They're analytical questions. Your financial analyst helps turn financial records into information you can understand. Revenue, expenses, margins, profitability, trends, performance. The conversation has moved from record this to explain this. And this is where things start getting interesting. Because once entrepreneurs understand what's happening, they usually start asking more questions. Trust me. Once you start asking your numbers questions, it's difficult to stop. Role number 3, your AI controller. Now, the entrepreneur begins asking, who still owes me money? What bills are coming due? How much cash do I need for payroll? Are we staying within budget? These questions aren't simply about analyzing the past. They're about monitoring the financial health of the business right now. That's the role of the AI controller. The controller helps you keep an eye on things like cash flow, receivables, payables, budgets, financial records, and items requiring attention. Think of it this way. Your bookkeeper tells you what happened. Your financial analyst helps explain what happened. Your controller helps make sure you know what is happening. And hopefully, before something catches fire. Financial fires are much easier to prevent than to put out. Role number 4, your virtual CFO. And now we reach the 4th role, the virtual CFO. This is where the conversation starts looking forward. The entrepreneur asks, can I afford to hire another employee? Should I buy another service vehicle? What happens if I open a second location? How much additional revenue would I need? What happens to my cash flow if sales fall 10%? These are strategic financial questions. Now we are thinking about forecasting, scenario analysis, budgeting, working capital, profitability, growth, and financial decision making. The conversation has moved from what happened to what is happening to what could happen next. That's the virtual CFO conversation. One entrepreneur, 4 financial roles. Now here's the part I really want you to understand. These are not 4 separate conversations. It's one continuous financial conversation. Imagine a business owner says, Dr. Bookkeeper, I just completed a job for $4,500. The AI bookkeeper records it. Then the entrepreneur asks, how much did I actually make on that job? Now the financial analyst helps explain profitability. Then, has the customer paid me yet? Now we are entering the controller conversation. And finally, if I keep getting jobs like this, can I afford another employee? Now we're talking to the virtual CFO. Same entrepreneur, same business, same financial information, same conversation. But the financial need keeps evolving. That's why we call it Dr. Bookkeeper, my AI finance team. There's another point I want to make very clear. The purpose of AI-powered financial tools should not be to pretend that human financial professionals no longer matter. Accountants matter. Bookkeepers matter. Controllers matter. CFOs matter. Financial advisors matter. The opportunity is to make financial understanding more accessible to entrepreneurs who may not have an entire finance department sitting down the hallway. And when professional judgment is required, the entrepreneur should still know when to involve the appropriate human professional. Technology can expand access to financial intelligence. Human judgment still matters. I believe the strongest future is human expertise plus artificial intelligence, not one versus the other. Now, think about your business. think about the financial question you wrote down in Module 2. Which member of your AI finance team would that question belong to? If your question was, can you record this expense? That's your AI bookkeeper. If it was, why did my profit decline? That's your financial analyst. If it was, who owes me money? That's your AI controller. And if it was, can I afford to expand? That's your virtual CFO. And sometimes, one question leads directly to the next. That's the beauty of the conversation. Quick knowledge check. Let's make sure we've got it. Question 1. Which member of my AI finance team primarily helps record and organize transactions? The AI bookkeeper. Question 2. Who helps explain profitability, margins, and financial trends? The financial analyst. Question 3. Who helps monitor receivables, payables, cash flow, and financial operations? The AI controller. And finally, who helps you think about forecasting, scenarios, growth, and future financial decisions? The virtual CFO, bookkeeper, analyst, controller, virtual CFO. One entrepreneur, one conversation, an entire AI finance team. Coming next, Module 4. So far, we've built the foundation. Module 1, the vision. Module 2, conversational finance. Module 3, Dr. Bookkeeper, my AI finance team. In Module 4, we're going to stop talking about the theory and watch it happen. We're going to meet an entrepreneur, a real-world business situation, a financial conversation, and we're going to follow that conversation from a simple transaction all the way to financial intelligence. Because this is where conversational finance really comes alive. I will see you in Module 4.